Welcome to Lesson 8 of Module 1 and 2 for Investigating Science. Our do now for today is what qualitative and quantitative data are you hoping to collect? And once you've written that down, you can collect your practical equipment and revise your method for today's fieldwork. So, our inquiry question for this lesson is what inferences can be drawn from observations? So, obviously, we're going to be carrying out our planned practical investigation, and at the same time, we're going to also use the description that we find in Module 2 to conduct our collaborative practical investigation, and we're going to be looking at the water quality of our local Angus Creek. So, we're going to be mainly working on our assessment this lesson. So this lesson is just a quick video to make sure that we are knowing what results we're looking at, okay? A reminder of our qualitative and quantitative data and make sure we have the methods written down so that we know what data we're collecting and how we're going to present it. So remember that we're looking at quantitative or qualitative data. For our investigation, we should have both. Okay, so we should have the quantitative numbers. Each person is designing an investigation that will collect that information, but then also following it up with some qualitative descriptions of what we're actually carrying out when we get down to Angus Creek. So making sure that we have our data collected for both of those sections. Okay, looking at quantitative, so our pieces of equipment that we're looking at, so whether it's our pH, whether it's our salinity, whether we're eventually going to count the bacterial colonies. Okay, so they're all quantitative numbers, and then our qualitative, looking at our descriptions of what we notice when we're down there, assessing water quality with our observations. So, some thinking questions to get us organized here. So, what tests are you doing and what data will they provide? How will you record that in your notes? Okay, will your data be produced at the beginning, end, or during the investigation? And this is really important for you and your group to understand because you're going to need to have someone ready to collect that data as it presents itself. Because for some bits of data, once it's presented, it will then just go away and we won't be able to um, re-see that situation a second time, and how will you remember to collect this data at specific points if you do have it. So make sure that you and your team are really clear about what you're going to be collecting when you're down there, and that everyone knows how they're going to collect it. An important part is in your notes. Okay, making sure you can't go back and take photos after it's done, so making sure there's someone there who's collecting photos along the way, whether you use them or not. At least if you have more data, you can then narrow it down and use the bits you need. But if you don't have it, you can't then, like I said, make that situation happen a second time. And then our inquiry question log, so making sure that we're editing this at some point. What inferences can be drawn from observations?